if there's one thing I hate about Brendan, it's how much he interrupts. Why he does it so much is because what he's saying is more important than what you're saying. So from our friend Unique, Brendan Schaub won't let Bryan Callen speak. Oh, this is gonna be so good. Oh, wait, how is Tim Pool this stupid? The $1 million question. That's just like Brendan, just like Wings, just like me. They think that they're really smart, but they're not. On my life, I will never know why people want to be seen as smart so bad. Like, why people, like, everyone, look at this. Look at me. Do I look like a philosopher? Do I look like I want you all to take me seriously? I look like I'm about to go to a rave right after this. And so, I mean, I don't know. I mean, shoot, they're making like all the money, trying to pretend like they're really smart. And I'm pretty much about to be on the streets any day now, looking like I'm about to go party on the streets. So let's get started. Love that intro.
Good take.
And I love Meccano. I like
I
your
love
Hawani.
that Ariel's giving you a little love too.
Yeah, I love that so much.
Yep.
What do you guys think about this Colbert stuff in the news?
Colbert, I think it's very interesting. So let's go through it for a sec. Like,
Evil.
you know, I'm actually a fan of Colbert. I know he got liberal and people had problems and all that stuff, but Colbert, as far as a talent,
Remember
is
where he
the
comes
real
from
deal.
with the
Yes.
Daily Show.
Yeah, well, he also comes from Strangers with Candy. Colbert was a hell of a sketch artist, a hell of a comic, a hell of an improv.
This could be just the internet being the internet, but his show on CBS was canceled. Now, it wasn't canceled because of low ratings, right?
So let me give you the, so I went down the rabbit
let me
hole.
tell you, because
Yeah.
what I heard is he actually, compared to Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel, he had high ratings in both of them.
Yeah, he gets about 2 million. So his show gets about 2 million viewers, and in the coveted time
night?
slot, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's not bad in today's standard.
Compared to 50 million back in the day, it's nothing. But compared to, so
But
I'll give you the numbers. So between 18 and
All right, shut up. Someone said, like, gave a timestamp and was like, watch Nikki drink from an industrial-sized propane tank. That was so freaking funny. I loved that.
49 or whatever, that golden demographic, he gets about probably 250,000 people. That's a lot. It doesn't seem like a lot. If you compare it to Fallon, who is getting something like 1.1 million.
Oh, wow.
Very small.
Wow.
If you compare it to James Corden, who got canceled, it was even lower. If you compare it to...
What about Jimmy Kimmel?
So if you even compare it to Kimmel, Kimmel was getting about 1.617. Okay.
Can I tell you something real quick?
Yeah.
I think besides Jimmy Fallon,
Yeah.
Colbert and Jimmy Kimmel, no one suffered more from Trumpism
Yeah. So I'm
than
going to
them,
get
because
I'm gonna-
their show
Trumpism?
turned into this just anti-Trump show, which whatever, do your thing. I get it, and a lot of people don't like him. Trust me, there's a million reasons.
There's
I get all
another
that.
theory.
But when you're a comedy,
All right, Brendan, what's one reason not to like Trump? Since there's a million, just give me one. And no, the Epstein thing doesn't count. Name another one. Which, just saying, I disappeared from the internet throughout this entire thing. Yeah, that's insane. A lot going on.
show, and people want to escape from what's going on with the world. And that, you look at Johnny Carson, who never did that. Jay Leno never got into the politics. David Letterman never got into it. When that was their only narrative,
Yeah.
and they became consumed by anti-Trump,
Yeah.
I think most people went, I'm good, man.
It wasn't just that. And here's another theory.
Colbert's talented.
Colbert's very talented. And he'll have a podcast and all that. But
Oh,
it
yeah, he'll be
wasn't
fine.
just that.
No, I don't feel sorry.
You gotta, we'll get conspiratorial here, but I'm gonna go through.
Oh, let's do
I
it.
don't feel bad for
Colbert
you.
started having on the podcast people
Show or podcast?
on his show, people who were very critical of Israel, people who are also very, very vocal about Israel committing quote unquote genocide and things
Now,
like that.
like actors.
So people like Adam Schiff was on. He had different things, but they also had different like pundits that were coming on. And Colbert was sort of giving a lot of voice to
Keep going down,
an
Permit,
alternative point of view that was not conservative. Okay. And part of it was after October 7th, there was a lot of
listening.
anti-Israel, anti-Jewish energy out there. A lot. More than I've ever seen in my lifetime. Well, Sumner Redstone's wife, I can't remember her first name, but Mrs. Redstone is a fierce Zionist. She is a Jewish woman who owned Viacom. Remember, Sumner Redstone owned
Powerful.
Viacom with no debt. One of the richest men in the world, and his wife, after he died, inherited that. She has just sold that to, see who, Sherry Redstone, see who she sold the entire
You went way down the
CBS.
weeds, huh?
But listen, it's very possible that the person that bought it said, I don't like this. I don't like it. I'm going to actually buy the whole network and fucking take it off the air.
I think he also.
I'm just saying that, by the way, everybody, I'm just saying that is not my theory. That would be
A
the
conspiracy?
theory from Jewish intellectuals who are on a show called Commentary Magazine Podcast. So I'm not,
Chin,
I'm just telling you.
Go
what
to
I've
annual
heard from
salary
other-
of late night hosts. Because with
Well,
those
he's making $20 million.
a year.
Okay, so $20 million. And the other thing about that is, I'm sorry, but the other thing about his salary was he wasn't necessarily earning it. Okay, he was
Jimmy
not. they
Fallon
were
makes
not earning
16.
it.
Colbert was reported at 15. Jimmy's salary was 15.
Yeah, but again, that's a lot of money, and when you're actually not as popular as you think, and the network isn't making that much money, there's also an economic consideration.
But I'd also say this. I also think that he got away from original.
Not as popular as you think.
What he's supposed to be there for, right? Kind of an outlet of humor, and when he's just focused on all this Trump syndrome stuff across the board, the views are going down.
Yes.
They have high salaries, but also no one wants to talk about it. Also, regular network TV is dying in spades, so no one's really watching. So I think it's about time. B, it's just who do you think's next? Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel.
But don't underestimate the fact that people that own these massive corporations have a political point of view. And if they have people
course.
on their shows that they believe are swaying people in a direction that they find harmful to their interests, harmful to themselves, it is very possible that they go, you know what I can do because I have so much money? I can buy this network and I can just cancel that.
Yeah, but then also, like, maybe that is your agenda,
Also-
but then also if you took
I will never understand how his intrusive L, like he will say lol and it will be a heavy L. So he'll say lol suit, but when it comes to also, where like it's a light L, also, and also, okay, you know what I mean. Contradicting.
for the company, let's take the conspiracy out of it. You take over the company, you go, how much are we paying Colbert? 15 million a year? How many views is he getting? How are we doing on advertisement? And it really doesn't add up.
That's right.
Well, let's nix that.
right.
And now what?
And it's on a downward trend.
That's what I'm saying.
Right? So
it's not like they're
business-wise.
it's in an upward
They
trend.
go.
Let's
this
do it
is
now.
causing a lot of problems
Yes.
for me. I don't agree with a lot of the stuff they're having on here, and I don't have to have it on. I can just take it off.
Yeah, because she doesn't even do the whole, anti-Semitism, Jewish shit.
No.
She can just go, hold on, business-wise, this is about this company.
It's not just the anti-Semitism, it's the anti-conservative
That's what I'm
stuff.
saying. We're paying them $15 million. The views are trending way down.
Yes.
Like, we can put these resources in something else.
Well, it's also
Like what?
conservative money.
It's also the
conservative money coming in and going, I don't want that guy on. Let
It's
him do
also
a
the
podcast.
death of late night because, again, the TV, I haven't watched, I used to love it. I haven't watched in years, man.
Yeah.
Years.
If you talk to the Colbert people, I can promise you that they will tell you, I guarantee that the conversation is, we got canceled because of our political point of view. I can promise you they're saying that.
But also, what do you think was going to happen?
Right. I believe in free speech. I love that people have different points of view, but
hold on, but
money talks.
But also, you work for a corporation, Bubba. You got this gig not to push any political.
I heard a Wings of Redemption say Bubba last week, and I was like, I was gonna actually screen capture it. I'm telling you, Brendan Schaub and Wings of Redemption are the same people, just from an alternate universe.
Agenda, and it's all you guys did for the last 5 years.
Let me ask a question.
Now, on the other end, even if he was super pro-Trump all the time, I would be like, dude, come on.
So let me
I'm
ask you a
sure.
question.
I'm sure.
University of Chicago, different universities, Stanford, they've got professors that are straight up socialists and communists that are calling for the destruction of the university. They're actually teaching their students how to create disruption, and ultimately the goal would be to tear down the institution. To me, I would fire those professors.
Of course.
I would be like, hey, you, get the fuck out of here with your bankrupt ideas.
Of course.
But they're talking this way to their students in public. I'd be like, nah, I don't want.
There won't be any longevity with that, and someone's gonna fire him.
After a while, you get people who
have
go.
to.
Did you see the look on Brian's face? I mean, other than the fact he looks like the bat from Fern Gully, he can't speak. Brendan Schaub will not allow him to speak on the podcast. He was interrupting more than usual there. I mean, when your brain is the size of a fly, I guess that's what you're going to continue to do. But the constant interruptions. And at the beginning of the podcast, Callen kind of got mad at him for it. Then midway through, Schaub even realized he was kind of doing it, and then said, I'm sorry to interrupt you, B. But then just continued to do it all throughout. Even all the top comments on this episode are, oh my God, with the interruptions. I get that he is mad at Callen, because Callen has been missing a bunch of time.
That's like a punishment.
Episodes, and kind of for bullshit reasons. But that, coupled with the fact that he's a dummy who interrupts anyway, he's just at this point not letting Callen speak. And Callen's getting extremely frustrated, just sitting there thinking about the 20 grand a month he's making doing it.
Shoot, you pay me 20 grand a month, you can interrupt me as long as you want. I'll just sit there and be like, all right, whatever, I don't care.
But I mean, it is frustrating, especially when the person interrupting you is not funny and has no talent. I mean, the point of this podcast was that, yes, they do it together. However, Callen is the stand-up and the guy in entertainment. He is the one who is supposed to be talking the most. But Schaub just keeps coming in as if he had something to say. And he really has nothing to say. He just keeps interrupting with nonsense. He's annoying.
No, for sure. Remember how he interrupted Bryan when he was like crying about Chris D'Elia being canceled? He interrupted him with saying he can't talk. He interrupted someone by saying he has nothing to say. Now that's a skill that only Brendan Schaub has.
And Callen sort of has to deal with it. I think it's the reason why all the other Rogan Sphere comedians and comedians in general have felt more comfortable attacking Schaub, because they don't have to deal with it. But my God, it is a frustrating thing. But
it is frustrating, but they've done it all to themselves. Big ups to Unique for the video. Whenever I start feeling bad for them, all I can think is it couldn't happen to nicer people.